My name is Jennifer Rudzinski, and I'm the English Content Area Specialist for grades 6 through 12. If you don't have any experience with a cyber school, you may be wondering exactly how you participate in an English language arts classroom online. In a brick and mortar classroom, it's a very busy place. A lot of discussions, partners, and group work, as well as presentations. All of that can still be done online, and today I'm going to show you how. In both the middle school language arts classes and high school English classes, students will find a mixture of reading, writing, grammar, and vocabulary lessons. This first example is from an 8th grade language arts class. In this unit, the students will begin by watching a video about baseball in order to get ready for the short story they will be reading. As you can see, the video is embedded directly in the course, so students do not have to go to an outside website to view it.
Carl Furillo, who had hit a homer for the Dodgers' final run in the 1953 series against the Yankees, does it again, knocking the ball into the right field seats to open the second inning.
The purpose of including this 6-minute video is to help students preview the story that they'll be reading. As you might guess, the story they'll be reading is about baseball. After watching the video, students will begin the first lesson. Let's take a look at exactly what the students in this class will need to do. The teacher begins by providing brief background information about the story and connecting to current baseball teams. The directions are then clearly laid out for students. Students will use their textbooks to read the first part of the short story, Wait Till Next Year. They also have the option to listen along as their teacher reads the story. If students choose to listen to the story, it is always recommended that they follow along in their textbooks.
Although our school principal, Mr. Richard Byers, refused our request to pipe the first game over the PA system, we managed to follow the action at Yankee Stadium through portable radios with notes.
Both the video before the reading and the audio within this lesson are clear and easily accessible to students. As you can see, this particular lesson does not have an assessment. The purpose was to just read the story. The assessment follows in the next lesson. Before proceeding to that next lesson of Wait Till Next Year, students will complete a grammar activity. As I said before, grammar, writing, reading, and vocabulary are all integrated within one another. To finish the story, students will open this quiz, follow the directions that are easily laid out. Again, they can listen to the audio if needed, and then they'll complete a reading check quiz. For this story, the quiz is multiple choice, but teachers can also use true, false, short answer, and matching questions. Since this is a reading check quiz, students would be able to use their textbook to answer these questions. In future lessons, students will also be asked to complete discussions and writing assignments that are related to the story. Now let's take a look at a 10th grade course. The general setup of units is similar to the middle school class. However, students will examine short stories and novels in much greater depth than they do in the middle school. Within this first unit of the school year, which is called the Search for Identity, students are introduced to the theme through a live chat. The chat was also recorded for students who were unable to attend. The link to the chat is right here, easy for students to find, and opens in a new website. Students can follow along with the chat.
To get started, if you're watching this in a recording, you can actually click on the file share box, click chat notes on theme, make sure it's highlighted, and then click save to my computer. You'll have to minimize the chat screen, but in a separate web browser pop-up, it will appear and download, and you can view the worksheet that we're going to be taking notes on today.
As you can see, students can discuss the theme and the reading exactly as they would in a classroom. The teacher also provided discussion notes for the students to fill out as they participated in the chat. The first short story for this unit is Harrison Burgon. The same process of short story background information, reading, analysis, and discussion is followed for most short stories and novels. After reading the story, students will analyze it. As you can see, all lessons are formatted with a purpose, a process, and a product. You may have noticed this same format in the 8th grade lesson. This is a similar format for all grades 6 through 12 English language arts. The purpose provides students with the reason for the lesson. Basically, why are they completing the lesson and why it is important to gain and develop these skills. In the process section, of the lesson, students are provided with directions for completing the task or assessments. In this particular lesson, the teacher walks students through the analysis process for examining the characters in the short story. Students then complete questions based on the teacher's inferences and analysis, and their own. Later in the school year, the teacher will ask students to complete a task like this on their own. But since this is still the beginning of the school year, the teacher walks students through the process of analyzing the characters. The following day, students will review the answers to the questions and participate in a discussion about the story. This discussion will not be live. Instead, we use a discussion forum. Before entering the forum, students will need to go over the analysis questions.
This presentation will provide you with possible answers to the analysis questions for Harrison Bergeron. And it will also provide you with brainstorming questions that will help you generate your own analysis responses.
As you can see, the students can slide through a PowerPoint and listen to their teacher explain the questions. Now that we've taken a look at a middle school and high school lesson, you can see that the interaction between students and teachers can be very similar to that found in brick and mortar classrooms.